It's about a few things, I guess, like most movies. It's both about a couple with a new baby that is struggling to maintain their youth, and it's also about the head of a fraternity who is grappling with having to graduate and move on from his awesome college life. And it's about how those two worlds collide and create conflict in a movie because we live next to each other. He's just really good, and he's really funny, and he has good instincts. And I think more than anything, like the fact that he has sex in the movie and smokes weed in the movie and does drugs in the movie, like I think that's more what'll probably be shocking for people to see, probably who are fans of him already. But I think there's probably a large group of people like me who have not seen much of his work previous to this who will be introduced to Zach in a lovely way. Yeah, the wife role grew a ton over the years, and actually initially it was a movie about like a dude and his friends who get in a war with the frat, and then we thought it would be more interesting if it was about a dude and his wife getting in a war with the frat. So the wife was like, it's a very important role, and she's hilarious, and she's super funny, and she's awesome, and she seems super cool, which she is, and that she would actually like engage in this behavior, we engage in, and at the same time, she seems like a good mother. It starts with me and my wife, Kelly, have just had our baby, our first baby. She's like 6 months old, and we're like the first of our friends to have a baby. And we just bought our first house, and we're also like the first of our friends to have a house. So we're kind of like, we're kind of the first of our friends to grow up, so we don't have a large frame of reference for how it works exactly. And you kind of see early on that we're very much struggling with the fact that we can't go out and party anymore with our friends, and that we kind of, and we keep saying we think it's going to go back to normal, and that our lives might go back to normal, and we don't really get that once you have a baby, it doesn't really go back to normal ever. Well, there's Teddy, who's Zach, who's like the head of the frat. He's kind of like the alpha male who's on the verge of being psychotic. Um, there's Pete, who's Dave Franco, who's like his partner, who kind of is actually like a smart guy with a future, who you can see knows that the frat is kind of not the be all end all of his life, and their story's kind of about like that rift that he's kind of moving on, and Teddy isn't. Then there's Garf and Scooney, who's Chris and Gerard. They're just kind of two idiots who are hilarious. Chris has a giant that's mostly his joke, and Gerard just kind of says funny. They don't really have big emotional stories, those guys, but they're hilarious. There's a lot of topless work in this movie for me. This is probably the most topless I've ever been in a movie. I don't know if that's good or bad for audiences in general, but it's a lot of topless in this movie. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm not in great shape right now either. I've been in much better shape than this, but it's funnier that way. Every time I'm about to not eat something unhealthy, I'm like, funnier if I eat this.